I want to go to Grammy camp because I think that it could help further my love and passion for music while giving me more resources to drive for that love and passion. There's going to be a lot of mentors there who have so much experience in the industry and who are super, experienced in the journey that I'm on right now. And I think that having access to those people could be really important for me and my music, as well as the teens, right? Because sometimes, like in my local community, I don't always feel like I find people who are as into the music as I am, or really like want to drive and like push different genres and different things as much as I do. And I think that having access to so many teens who are on their own musical journeys and have their own music that they're writing with different instrumentation and different styles, I think that that could be super interesting and important for where I take my music next. Um, as a musician, I like to incorporate as many different genres as I can. I find myself falling in love with every little part of music in so many different kinds of genres, from like the twang of a banjo and bluegrass to like orchestral stuff, or even like R&B. I like listening to all of it, and I like to play and analyze all of it as much as I can. In my own music, I try to incorporate folk, singer-songwriter elements, as well as funk, R&B, and jazz. I've been a jazz-trained pianist for a long time, since I was in 7th or 8th grade. I think that that is really important too because it influences my music, and I try to keep one continuous voice while experimenting with so many different genres and parts of my music. I've been playing piano for about 11 years, and along the way I've learned a bunch of other instruments, including guitar, harmonica, banjo, bass and drums, and a little bit of saxophone, although that one didn't fully pan out. I've been composing since I was little. I mean, depending on what you count, when I was 3 years old, I composed my first song in the kitchen, waiting for my parents to leave, about how much I didn't want to go stay at my grandparents' house and how much I wanted them to stay. But since then, my music has become a little bit more homogeneous, and I've been working on my own stuff as a solo artist for about 3 years. I've played more than 100 live shows across various different genres with groups and solo, including winning local solo singer-songwriter competitions like Neutral Zone's Battle of the Voices. I also run a jam session every week at a local drop-in teen space downtown Ann Arbor, where teens can come in and learn new instruments. I'll help try to get them passionate and interested in the music. They can also bring their own songs and their own instruments and the own things that they like to do in their music. So it's really just one of the ways that I help build a musical community here in my space, and that's one of the really big things for me. So I'm excited to see how that sort of like community-driven music making plays out in Grammy camp. Speaking of which, I'm really excited to collaborate with other people. I feel like when I'm collaborating with other people, I flow so much better. Sometimes when I'm making music on my own, I feel like it has to be too perfect, or like it's not harmonically interesting enough, or like it's too basic or something like that, and I get in my head and go for perfection, and sometimes that ends up with me hitting a writer's block and I don't make anything at all. But even when there's just one other person or two other people there making music with me, and I can bounce ideas off them, be like, oh, that was so cool, and they'll be like, oh my god, that was so cool too, and then I get to hear what they wanted to do and what I wanted to do. I think that's gonna be super awesome. I find a lot of times that my passion and my drive for things just in general is a big part of my identity, and I find other people super infectious in that way too. I find a lot of times I rub off, so like I really just want to help translate my excitement to other people around music and around what I'm creating, and I want to latch onto other people's excitement because for me that's what life is all about. I think that I'm also really excited to see other people's process. Seeing other musicians' process and how they write and how they learn is super cool because it helps me adapt my own, and I think I'd be able to bring so many interesting things back into my own process of creation. My short-term goals are sort of to create a live studio album, play as many performances off it as I can, and then also build an audience that resonates with it. Long-term, I want to build love through music. I saw a show by Jacob Collier not too long ago, and it was one of the top 5 moments of my life. As the audience all came to sing in a choir together, I felt a love and connection in the air that I had never experienced anywhere else in my life. The sort of rapid creation and beauty that he created through the crowd created a sort of kindness and softness towards each other that when we all walked out onto the streets of Ann Arbor, I realized that we all had become a little bit less hateful and a little bit more kind, and my goal is to really bring people together through music in that way.